Hello and welcome to Minnesota Homeownership Center's Welcome Home podcast. My name is Bill Gray, and today we've got a special show for you. It's a show we do every year. We're going to meet 3 of our Network Homeownership Advisors in honor of Homeownership Month. Today I'm joined by Braden Strayhan, Homeownership Advisor with NeighborWorks Home Partners. Welcome, Braden.
Thank you. Thank you so much.
Thanks. Next is Anais Valle. Did I say that right?
Valle.
Valle. Thank you. Anais Valle, Homeownership Advisor at Neighborhood Development Alliance, or NeDA. Welcome, Anais.
Thank you.
And then finally, we have Stephen Sengendo, a financial coach at the International Institute of Minnesota. Welcome, Stephen.
Thank you for having me.
This is going to be fun. All right. So let's talk about your organizations first and the work each of you do with prospective homeowners. Anais, let's start with you. Tell us about NeDA and the typical prospective homebuyer journey there as you work with people to help them achieve homeownership.
Yeah, thank you. Thank you for having me here. NeDA is a nonprofit organization that has been helping people for a little over 37 years now. Our main focus is to establish financial health for our clients, and about, I would say, 75 to 80% of our clients are Hispanics, Latinos, but we always open the door for everybody. Every person that walks in has a different journey into what they want to achieve financially, but mostly everybody has the dream of become a homeowner, and that's what we do the most, pre-purchase advising, and we take care of it in every aspect. If they need to build their credit, we are CDFI certified, so we offer zero interest credit building loans. We help them through the way. Obviously, for some people, this might be something that might take a year, 2 years, depending where they at in the path. We offer the home stretch classes, so we help people who need that certificate to get a grant. We do those every month. We do them in Spanish and English. We do about 24 of them a year.
Yeah, I think you guys are one of the only ones that present in Spanish, which is really valuable.
Yeah, it's really fun to share the knowledge with people and kind of guide them through the right path. A lot of people, what I see is they have never really worked with a budget. So that's what we're here for. Our counselors are HUD certified, and we work on creating a budget, making sure that the decisions that they're making are the right ones. So, after, even if you get approved for a mortgage loan, that might not mean that you are ready at the moment.
Right.
So we take care of the clients, guiding them through the budget, what comes in, what goes out, making sure their credit is in a good score so they can get a good interest as well.
So important.
Yes, savings. So there are times that, we might have to work with debt management before we start with the home purchasing process. And we do that too. We partner with LSS, and we have a debt management program. And so we can start from there too.
I think that's great. And the services are free?
They are free.
They are free. They are paid for by HUD and other sources. Take advantage of this resource here. I love bringing these in 3 advisors every year. It's always fun to hear the new perspectives and what's going on out there. And the services are free, and these guys are HUD certified experts. So you gotta get some free help here. Thank you, Anais.
Yeah,
appreciate that. Homeownership, I should add here, is the number one way that families build generational wealth in the United States. And you guys around the table here, you're helping to change the trajectory of families for the better forever. Braden, let's turn to you. Same question.
Yes.
Tell us about NeighborWorks and the typical prospective homebuyer journey there as you work with people to help them achieve homeownership.
Yes. So NeighborWorks has been around for over 40 years. We are a buy, fix, and keep, right? So what that means is we're a full service homeownership center. So we on the advising side, we have pre-purchase, post-purchase, and if there's anything going on, it's payments. We also work with buyers. We work with you wherever you are in the process. So if you're just starting out, or if you're about to close in 5 days, which sometimes happens,
Yeah.
we really want to prioritize identifying where people are, their buying power, their mortgage readiness, overcoming any barriers that there may be,
Yeah.
whether that is financial, and also an understanding that there may be some emotional and cultural barriers
Mm-hmm.
to homeownership. So being able to address those also in the appointment with the approach of understanding that homeownership is the primary goal.
Yeah.
That is what we're here for. Also, in terms of spending, right? There's an understanding that behavioral spending is extremely important to understand too.
Mm-hmm.
And so we refer to those as spending plans to destigmatize the idea of having to budget, feeling it being it feel restrictive
Yeah.
or something that's extremely punitive, where there's shame around that.
Yeah.
So we're able to address that also during the appointments to help folks understand what their buying power looks like, not just from what the lenders say of that gross monthly,
Right.
but also with their net and their additional expenses, right?
Yeah.
Like groceries.
It's a really
Well,
good
also,
point.
yeah.
We talk about you're qualified on your gross, but you got to pay your bills out of your net.
Correct.
So it's got to work in the real world.
Right. It's got to work. What does it look like having a great quality of life while also being a homeowner, right? And comparing those expenses, maybe as a renter or if you're staying with friends,
Uh-huh.
to now also having a mortgage and
Yeah.
utilities. Not only that, but we also have home buyer education.
Uh-huh.
So we have in person and in virtual.
Uh-huh.
We have about 2 to 3 classes a month. And sometimes we do have some language classes throughout the year sprinkled around.
Yeah.
We've had Hmong, Korean, and Somali
That's
as well,
great.
on top of our English speaking
I
classes.
didn't know we had a Korean class. That's great.
Yeah, so we were able to put things together, and we team up with community to be able to put those classes on.
That's
So we're
awesome.
very, very, we really want to make sure that we're breaking the barriers down
Yeah.
for homeownership and that education. Would also add as well, in terms of those appointments, um, the really important thing about the appointments is, yes, can you get a financial wellness certificate, for, the down payment assistance programs? Absolutely, yes. And how do we also set you up for success, even if you are about to close? What does that affordability look like from a year from now or 2 years from now?
Right.
Or even next month, right?
Right.
So we want to make sure that even if you have a purchase agreement, that we're able to go over that and make sure that you feel comfortable making that purchase all the way through.
For sure.
There's some people that we work with one time. There's some people that we work with for 3 to 5 years,
Yep.
and that's okay. Wherever you are in the process, that is what Homeownership Advisors are here for.
That's amazing. And one thing I would add for folks, if you just want to explore home ownership and see if it's right for you, engage with these guys, because if you go through the process, and you guys will back me up on this, I bet.
Yeah.
If you go through the process and you decide home ownership is not for you, that's a success as well.
Yeah.
Because now you've made your
Correct.
decision based on information rather than hearsay and I don't know, I don't think I can do this, that kind of thing. Braden, I heard you say, what did you say? You said fix in the middle.
Yes.
Not
the programs.
not a lot of our folks work on fix. Tell us a little bit about that.
Sure. So down payment assistance programs, low to zero interest, home improvements, financing.
Mm-hmm.
And also on the fixed side, but also kind of keep side, we have developed a post purchase model. So I won't get too deep into
Yeah.
that.
No, that's great.
But we do have a post purchase education class as well, that we built from the ground up, and we're very appreciative of all the assistance and work. But on the pre-purchase side, when we are talking about fix,
Uh-huh.
we understand that interest rates are high. So we'll get too deep into that right
Yeah,
now.
yeah.
So later on. But it's extremely important to know that the housing market right now, there may be a home that you may need to fix up
Yeah.
and want to make sure that you're able to have the financing to do that.
Yeah.
So we do have those conversations, and on the not advising, but on the lending side of NeighborWorks Home Partners,
Yeah.
we have down payment assistance programs. We're one of the leaders, as well as home improvement and financing.
This is great. I mean, you guys in your separate organizations, you're evolving to serve new needs and new market realities and that kind of stuff. And I think that's one of the the things that's so cool about what we do. Well, thanks, Braden.
Thank you so much.
Yes, again, services are free. You can find an advisor on our website, hocmn.org. You can search based on location, specific service needed, even language spoken. It's all on hocmn.org, our website. Okay, Stephen, let's turn to you. Thanks for being patient. Same questions. Tell us about the International Institute of Minnesota and the typical prospective homebuyer journey there as people work with you and your colleagues to achieve home ownership.
Well, thank you so much, Bill. I'm glad to be here. The International Institute of Minnesota is a non-profit organization. It's located in St. Paul on Common Avenue. That's by the state.
Right by the State Fair, right?
By the State Fairgrounds, yes. This institute has been around for over 100 years.
Wow.
Yes.
Did not know that.
Yes, it's over 100 years. Primarily, it is serving immigrants and refugees from around the world. This is from arrival to education to empowering them to thrive. And this is majorly done in 2 program areas. That is refugee resettlement services. We do immigration services. We do education and workforce development. So for me as a financial advisor and a homebuyer advisor too, I work with an economic empowerment team to teach these folks into the basic financial elements to navigate the economic.
Because it's really different here, right?
Yeah, absolutely. How do they navigate into this financial system in the U.S., including home buying?
Yeah, and credit.
Yeah, and credit. So
you have to borrow money in order to borrow money.
Yes, I agree. So yes, we do that, and we do teach them and guide them on, in fact, even to start a brand new bank account. Opening their first credit card to start building their credit. Some of them come here without any credit.
Right.
So it could be as simple as even writing their budget.
Right.
Right. How do you? Because where we come from, a lot of us who are immigrants, we don't work on budgets.
Right.
So we come here and then we have to learn these new skills, these new ways of living.
It really is new skills.
These are new skills for us. So we do all those. So we do also, in terms of housing, we do home stretch classes once in a month, and we also do one-on-one home advising sessions with our potential customers, where we teach them and show them where they stand in their finances and how their budgets are, what is their needs in terms of housing.
Right.
So we really go deep into trying to speak to them and see where they are at.
Yeah.
In terms of the journey, home ownership journey, for majority of our clients, it starts from at least from one of our programs within the organization.
I see what you're saying.
Yes, they start from right there. For example, somebody may be a resettled refugee, or somebody who graduated from one of our employment pathways.
Right.
And then they get a job and they start working. Then they come back and they figure, I'm now empowered. Now I'm strong. And then I have ways of how is the process of home buying. Yeah. So yes, for example, just recently I was working with a client who came to the institute about 8 years ago. He came actually to file his immigration papers. Then he saw there was an opportunity to register for nursing assistant program. Yeah. He signed up for that. He got the certificate, the CNA certificate, went and got a job, and then he started working. And then after some time, he came back and said, I'm ready. I want to own a home. I want to buy a home.
Start paying yourself instead of paying somebody else.
Exactly. I'm tired of renting. So we worked with him. He signed up for
that's really
home street
great
class.
Yeah.
He went through that and bought a house.
That's really great.
Yes.
That's
so these are some of the things we do. Now, as far as the market is concerned and interest rates and how they affect them, we've had a lot of course, I would like you said, I'm not going to deep into this. It's kind of affected them because we've had some frustrations.
Right.
Because, there was a house I was really, really interested in buying. And I went there 2 days ago.
Yeah.
Gone. It was gone. Yep. And then it was also, some people say, I want to buy a house, but the interest rates are so high. Yep. Should I wait? So we hear all these kind of stories.
Yeah. And what's your answer?
Again, my answer would be depends. Depends on if the numbers, the financial, because we look at your numbers.
Yep.
How much how is your credit?
Yep.
Do you have your job is good? The numbers are right. The budget, how is your budget? So if the numbers are lining up, obviously I'll recommend to consider buying.
So if you're ready,
yes, if you're ready, yes, depends. If you're ready,
don't try to time the market.
obviously.
Don't do it too early.
Don't do it too early.
Make sure you're ready.
Yeah, because we've also had some frustrations from some clients who say, "Oh, 10 years ago, I was considering buying a house, and then somebody advised, oh, the interest rates are so high, we should wait." But yet, the home prices and the values are continually going up.
Yep.
So if your numbers are right, again, it depends. If your numbers are right and you're ready and look through all the numbers, why not?
And you can always refinance if the rates do go down.
Oh, absolutely. Absolutely.
So, and the market loves that.
Yep.
I mean, it does. It goes crazy. Yeah. So, well, I appreciate that, Stephen. Thank you. So let's talk about the homestretch class a little bit. I was talking to you guys earlier. All three of you teach it. That's awesome. This is the 8-hour class workshop that covers everything under the home buying umbrella. Let's talk about that. I'm looking for the main sections covered. You bring in outside experts. It's an 8-hour class. Do people get bored? That kind of stuff. Tell me your thoughts, Anais.
Yeah, I love homestretch classes, especially because we can get a lot of misinformation that has been running out there. We can actually answer those questions, and people do ask a lot of questions, and they learn from each other. So one person asks something, then the next person is like, oh, about that. And it's a really good place where you can just go and listen, and you're gonna learn just by, even if you're shy, you don't have to ask questions, you're still gonna learn from other people's questions. And about the boring part, sometimes, some people they get comfy in their chair. But the way I like to teach my classes is I like to make it a realistic place, a place where they feel comfortable. And I share part of my experiences. And I give samples of my life. Because we're not perfect.
Right.
We all have to learn how to manage money. There's always areas of improvement. And especially I tell them it doesn't matter where you're at in the path. We are going to be able to help you.
Right.
Like my partners have shared here, we're going to find a way either so you can learn how to save to achieve your goal. If you're in debt, we're going to be able to help you make a plan. We're going to share a lot of knowledge with you, and it's free. We're going to bring experts. We're going to bring realtors, inspectors.
I think that's the coolest
lenders. So you get to ask the experts the real questions instead of, like he said, oh, my friend told me this. Oh, I heard this. So you get real answers. And I think everybody should take advantage of that. It's, before, even if you are just considering purchasing a home, you should still come to these classes, because it's going to make you, like you guys were talking, it's going to make you realize, do I really want to purchase a home? And if you don't, then we can work on another goal that you have in your life. But you're going to start with something.
Right. One of the things that I always like to mention is we do a survey afterwards, and 96% of the people who take this class would recommend it to someone thinking about buying a house. So 8 hours is a long time, but it is worth it, and
Absolutely
endorsed by the people that are taking it as being worth it. Stephen, sorry. What you teach the class too?
Yes.
Tell us some of your observations.
Yeah, like what Anais said, it's also part of my favorite. I teach other classes, but Homestretch is one of my favorite. We have one class a month. Our classes are scheduled throughout the year. Majority are in English. And the reason why actually live it is it's in person. It's not virtual. So there is always that conversation and interaction between us, the teachers and the students. They share the experiences. So we do that. We also bring in industry experts. We bring in, like, for example, a loan officer who's going to teach and answer questions about mortgages. What do you need to qualify for mortgage? All those necessary logistics of going through how to qualify for a mortgage. So the industry expert will answer all those questions.
Yep.
Then bring in a realtor who is going to also talk about what processes and process do you have to go for looking for a home? What do you have to look out for a home? And all the dynamics and all the things to look out for and what to consider at what stage, who comes first. So
how do you find the realtor that's right for you?
Exactly. So that is another thing. So we bring in an inspector who looks at the home safety, the issues you have to look at before you actually sign on those dotted lines. You have to make sure that...
Don't skip the inspection.
Please, I always recommend that. Please, yes, it's a little bit of money, but it will maybe spending $1,000 can save you $15,000.
It's worth it.
You know, it's worth it.
Yeah.
So we do that. So yeah, I also like what Anais said. It's good to hear how you interact with the people real time. We've had instances where the participants will say, "Oh, I came here with a different mindset. I came here with some sort of different information. Oh, based on this, I'm going to hold on. I'm going to wait. I need to understand the numbers better. I need to do my budget. Maybe I need to hold on because maybe they were misinformed or they didn't know. So that is really very, very important. We always recommend our clients, those we interact with, please sign up for this class. Whether you're buying today or 5 years, attending the class, the information, the resources you get are enormous. Really, you can't beat that. I also like the celebration at the end. We always kind of have a mini celebration at the end of the day. So, and like we had a class on Monday. We had a lady who came with her baby, and it was fun to have a baby student in the workshop. But we celebrate at the end of the day when we give out the paper certificates, and everybody actually thought, we were scared of the 8 hours, but this sounded really, really worth it. You know, so it's a really good.
You guys make it easy. You make the 8 hours easy. That's good. And think of that baby and you know, the process that the mom's trying to pull off for that baby's future. That's really powerful and amazing. Braden, anything to add? I know these guys talked a lot, and there's only so much.
No worries. I think what's really important about Homestretch, and we have we teach Homestretch absolutely. We as well have professionals to come in, realtors, lenders, and home inspectors. But one thing that we also make sure is that a lot of people work during the day. A lot of people that we work with also work on Saturdays. A good chunk of these classes are on Saturdays.
Harder trying to save up, isn't it?
Right. And so we also have weeknight classes. So from Wednesday, Thursday, 5:30 p.m. to 9:30 p.m. Virtual. So we have webinar. We also have in person. Our in person is typically over near the Emerge building every once in a while in Northeast Minneapolis. And what I will also add with Homestretch, and to your point, it's really to make sure that we have the clients and have home buyers really feel comfortable about this purchase. I always let the class know that you are, no pun intended, you're in the driver's seat of this process. It means you get to hire people. Think of home ownership and the home buying process as a goal. Think of you as an employer. You're interviewing realtors. You're interviewing lenders. You're interviewing everyone except for an appraiser, of course, which means you get to hire most of the people. But we also are talking about some of the barriers in home ownership and understanding why it's been so hard for many to be able to purchase in the first place, right? And so I love what you had said about making sure that people know who their industry professionals are in the process as well. So that's what I will add to home buyer education. Everyone being able to learn from each other is really important.
And we should say when we talk about virtual, it is live virtual. This class is only taught live, and there's a self-directed alternative if you need that, but live seems to be so much more valuable for folks, at least to me. So we talked about this a little bit. The timing is always interesting to me. I know the class is required for certain types of loan programs, down payment assistance, other help. And so lots of people take the class because they have to. But the feedback from those folks says they wish they would have known about it and taken it earlier so they could have benefited from what they learned from the beginning of the process. So when's the best time to take the class? As soon as you're thinking about purchasing homeownership for yourself. Knowledge is power, and there's so much free professional guidance out there for the taking. Also, you can usually find the Homestretch class being financially sponsored by either a network partner or a local real estate affinity group, which means the $40 fee is waived a lot. If you go to our website, hocmn.org, and search for a class, you can access a list of all the upcoming classes and whether or not they have fees and that kind of stuff. So again, hocmn.org is our website, and you can find an advisor, find a class, anything you want. All right, let's ask our advisors. My favorite question is now the right time to buy. You talked about this a little bit, Stephen. So many factors involved. But again, it sounds like the best time to buy is when you're ready.
It depends.
Yeah.
It depends.
Don't try to time the market. See what's going on. You can always refinance later, all that kind of stuff. All right. Well, I want to thank each of you for joining me today. These are the folks who can make homeownership a reality for you if you are interested in looking into it. Call them up. Find their agencies on our website, hocmn.org. That's it for this episode. I want to acknowledge our sponsors, Associated Bank, Bell Bank, Bremer Bank, Country Financial, Franzen Bank and Trust, Huntington Bank, Midwest One Bank, and Old National Bank. Our sincere thanks to each of these organizations for their support. Thanks for watching and listening.